So I got two folks down here that were instrumental in the Home of the British campaign, Peter Cleecamp, and Mr. Summerall.
Oh my God.
I know you guys are who's going to be the first person, Cleecamp or Summerall, to rob the Indian head chief?
Welcome to the IHTN Football Pregame Show. I'm Jake Summerall, and thank you, Tony Arcuri, head coach for Indian Hill Football, for joining us today. The team had a tough first quarter against New Richmond, down 14-0 in the first quarter. Who did you rely on to get the team out of the mud?
Well, I think you got to rely on everybody when it comes to a situation like that. Honestly, probably the worst first quarter, any quarter I've been involved in. I will say that I'll put that on the backs of our seniors. They really stepped up, kept their composure, kept their calm, and things worked out. We ended up reeling off 48 unanswered. So
great second half. How did the team prepare this week to square off against McNicholas?
Same way. I don't think you get into changing a lot. Obviously game plan, things of that nature change from opponent to opponent, but your approach, the time that you put in, the level of commitment, all those things stay the same. This week was a lot more crisp than last week. I'll say that. The New Richmond week, the practice week kind of looked like the first quarter. This week's been a little better.
And how does this team differ from past squads you've coached in the past?
I've been saying this all along. The big difference is we don't have, let's say, a marquee superstar, a Division I athlete that has emerged already. Not to say that some won't, but none that have emerged already. And so what has happened is no one has looked to someone else and said, hey, you've got to do this. Hey, you've got to take over. The attitude has been much more collective, that there is no one guy. We're all going to have to be the guy.
And how is the health of the team going into tonight's matchup?
Pretty healthy. We've got a couple guys that won't dress, just typical football injuries, things of that nature. But overall, I'd give our health, an A-, I guess.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you down at the field.
Thank you.
Season of Indian Hill football. We are live at Tomahawk Stadium for tonight's matchup against the McNicholas Rockets. I'm Jake Summerall alongside Brian Shaw. Everyone is thrilled to be here and see the 2019 squad in action. Brian, what do you think the three keys of this game will be?
Jake, first of all, Happy New Year. Glad to be here. Beautiful night here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I guess being that it's really the first time I'm going to see these guys, I did not make the trip to New Richmond last week. I'd say, there's a couple of things of what you'd say every game. First of all, clean game. If Braves can avoid the penalties and the turnovers and things of that nature, I think that's a good thing. I think second, keep guys on the field. This year I think a lot of this is coming down to a couple of key guys that, maybe the depth isn't quite what it's been in the past. Got to keep everybody on the field. And then third, specifically with regard to McNicholas, I noticed last week about 94% of the plays went through two guys. Quarterback, running back, both last names start with B. Got to account for those guys. I think if the Braves do that, start fast, I think they'll be in good shape. They're a better team.
Quick recap from last week's performance against New Richmond. IH came out a bit slow in the first quarter, letting up 14 points. Rough first quarter for the Braves. Then they came back and rallied for 21 points in the second quarter, and they ended up scoring 48 unanswered points in that game after a rough first quarter. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, you know, my standing and talking to a couple of people about that, came out with a game plan, and then by hook or crook, all of a sudden had a couple of broken plays and some things. Trey go be an athlete. Trey was an athlete. And really when that kid gets going and gets that motor, which is always there, but when he gets it unleashed, you saw it this summer in basketball. The month of June, I call the month of Trey Lopez. The summer was your summer. Your summer. Jake had about 1,000 points this summer for the Indian Hill Braves basketball.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if it's going to go in the official record book, but there were 1,000 points nonetheless.
But speaking of Trey Lopez, last week against New Richmond, went 10 for 16 at quarterback for 133 yards and 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So quite a performance from Trey last week.
Yeah, involved in 6 touchdowns. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. We'll talk about it throughout the telecast, but the latest in a long line of great athletes that were asked as a senior to play quarterback at Indian Hill. We'll take a break for our national anthem, and we'll be back in just a little bit.
And just execute, just lead boys, do what you've been coached to do.
You guys got down early last week. What you think of that?
I think we learned that we're going to come out ready to play. We're going to keep the best days. Everybody will play as good, and we don't do that for every opponent. What we need to overcome them last week.
All right, good looking. Let's start here, everybody. Let's go, next game. McNicholas Rockets are taking the field. McNicholas Rockets, your 2019 edition, headed to the sidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country like no other. We ask everyone to stand and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem by the Indian Hill High School Marching Band.
So we got a quick shot of the home of the Braves over there, the new locker room, concessions, ticketing booths, all over there. Going to be brand new. Going to be finished hopefully November. They try to get it done for this season, but due to the crappy spring weather, had to be pushed back. $4.3 million of an addition coming in Indian Hill, so that'll be nice to have for the future athletes.
Pretty amazing, Nick. I know your dad, Craig, and Peter Camp, a number of people involved in putting that together, but those two guys right at the tip of the spear. You think about what that's going to do for 2 levels, really tying the football field, if you've ever been here to Indian Hill, along with the baseball, softball fields, and the tennis courts, really kind of bringing all that together. Going to be a multi-level facility, bring concessions and restrooms to the top part, which hasn't been there before, and locker rooms, weight room, that kind of thing to the bottom half. So terrific, absolutely terrific project. And the great thing about it, from a taxpayer standpoint, a lot of effort went in to raise the funds. And those are all private funds. A little bit of school money put in to help, but private funds.
Well, tonight couldn't be any better for the first home game of the Brave season. Mostly cloudy, 79 degrees, 4% humidity. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, in a week where we've heard quite a bit, and it sounds like, I think the last couple of years we've talked about this, the weather around the world, particularly down in Florida and the Carolinas and Georgia, up into Virginia, very thankful for what we have here, and great night to play football. Everybody should really take advantage of it and be thankful.
Opening kickoff. And new rule this season, you cannot return a kickoff from the end zone.
Yeah, and I think a good rule. I think a good rule for safety and for the health of these players. And, of course, Indian Hill, very fortunate. They have a kicker that can put it in the end zone. McNicholas won't see that a whole lot this year, I'm sure. But Luke Lundberg, as good as there is at the high school level.
McNick offense will take the field. Clay Badalak at the QB slot. Last week against Goshen, 126 yards passing and 15 for 26. See him handed off. Jake Fox will make the tackle.
A nice job by Jake Fox there. So Bramble and carry, we talked about at the outset, Baliak and Bramble accounting for 94% of the plays that are run from scrimmage for this McNick team last week against Goshen, a game that McNick won 6-0. Kind of reminds me of the game, I don't know if you saw it last night, the Bears and the Packers. Not a whole lot of scoring going on there either.
Great pass by Badalak.
Yeah, Badalak, thrown into the fire as a sophomore last year, and now a junior and very comfortable. They're counting on him quite a bit here, and that's consistent with the splits, Jake. We always talk about the tendencies of these teams, and the run-pass, 37% run, 63% pass. Only 1 week of data, so it's not a whole lot to go on, but at least that's the way they came out in week 1.
Oh, and a bad snap. Badalak will cover up the ball.
Yeah, Badalak just a junior, but a veteran nonetheless, and nice job there. When you have one thing go wrong, don't compound it.
2nd and 22 for the Rockets. I'll tell you what, last week against New Richmond, this Indian Hill defense really turned the game around and really gave the team that spark they so desperately needed.
Yeah, this Indian Hill program, we'll talk a little about Coach Arcuri and now his tenure and his record and things he's done. Same thing on the other side, but it's a program. They're going to be good on both sides of the ball going forward.
Badalak's handoff to Cody Johnson, only a gain of about 2.
Jake, we talk about Coach Arcuri and the culture and the way things are done. First of all, I got to say, the Baker Mayfield jersey, I didn't know that Coach Arcuri was from Youngstown, but that gives me a lot more data points to kind of connect dots there.
For sure. Big third down here on the opening drive for the Rockets. Oh, Jake Fox and Charlie DeGennaro on the coverage. Badalak pass to number 17, Caden Crawford, is incomplete. That'll be a 4th down.
Yeah, Crawford, a long player. If he was outside, you might put that one up where it's a jump ball, but to throw it in the middle of that defense with so much air on it, kind of a surprising throw there. So, Jake, let me tell you, let me ask you a question. When's the last time you saw a starting quarterback returning punts?
I don't know if I can answer that question. Trey
That's
Lopez, there he is right there.
Yeah, and you know what? In most cases, people would say, well, why is your quarterback doing that? Well, he's been doing that for a while, and he's been the best they have at that skill set for quite a while, not just this year, but as far back to his sophomore year. Trey Lopez, one of the toughest, most competitive guys you'll see. We talked about how Indian Hill has had guys that did not play the quarterback position until their senior year. That has happened a few times. We'll go through some of those names as we get into the game tonight, but Trey Lopez now adds his name to that list, and he is a tremendous athlete with great heart.
Lopez in the shotgun formation, hands it off to Charlie Summerall. gain of about 2.
Jake, I asked you before we went on the air about your brother, Charlie Summerall. 6 carries or 5 carries, whatever it was, averaging almost 20 yards a carry last week. Did he not get in the end zone? But apparently he was getting
for 96 yards.
He was getting them from 120 to the other.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Big, strong kid. One of those guys you just absolutely have to have healthy.
Lopez looking to Luke Hammond will get the first down. Moving those chains. Boy, the first quarter of New Richmond was hard to watch, Brian. My gosh. We couldn't get anything. The refs, Coach Arcuri tried to get a timeout. The refs didn't see it. He was singing to him. He was yelling. I mean, boy.
I'll tell you what, it's become a tradition. They're either here or we're there. Week 1.
That's for sure. Lopez's handoff to number 7, Jake Fox. Gain of about none.
Yeah, this Braves team, you look at these receivers last week, DeGennaro and Hammond both with big nights on Friday at New Richmond. Really nice to have. We're back to the large targets, the long targets out on the edge, which really helps a quarterback put the ball up and let his athletes make a play.
2nd and 12, Lopez looking down, but will decide to keep it. And that will force a 3rd down.
Yeah, Dick, you see it on that play. You'd have to think that over the course of the week, Coach Orlando talking to the McNicholas Rocket defense about where is this guy, Trey Lopez. So important. Just like Indian Hill's got a couple of players on McNick to account for. This Indian Hill Braves team, I mean, you got to know where Trey is. Nice job there by McNick to shadow.
Lopez looking right down to Charlie DeGennaro and Amari Whitehead. And a great pass. And also a great tackle by Pierce Taylor.
Yeah, really nice job there by Trey to get out in space and keep looking downfield for that receiver. Amari Whitehead, another guy with length out on the edge and an easy target to see.
Speaking of Amari Whitehead, he had a little bit of a pec problem. New Richmond first quarter. And also we didn't have Alex Lindbergh in that game, and Mark Bennett just tore his MCL. But Amari Whitehead and Alex Lindbergh are both back and hopefully inactive for this matchup.
Sorry to hear that about Mark Bennett. I didn't know that.
Unfortunate.
Mark Bennett, a big part of this Indian Hill program, now a senior, and has just done a terrific job over the last 4 years. Tough call there for the Braves. Looks like we had an illegal downfield, anytime you're moving around, and this is another thing that the Braves lineup this year, 3 spots on that offensive line that was so dominant. We talk about how the Braves remade themselves last year from a spread team to a power team, and 3 guys: Chris Hooten, Jalen Thornton, and Joe Oakes. Who I see Joe Oakes on the sidelines here tonight at Indian Hill. Easy to see Joe Oakes, easy to see Antoine P. Sr.
Dougie Zang's punt sends McNick down to the 30.
Jake, let's talk a little bit about this coaching staff on both sides.
Yep.
2 guys, now we talk about Coach Arcuri being from Youngstown. Didn't realize that. Coach Orlando from Steubenville. We'll do him as the guest first. Mike Orlando in his 9th year, 3 games over 500 at 44 and 41. They had 2 years back-to-back, 2013 and 14, where they won a lot of football games. I think 10 games one year, 9 the next. And when you're lining up against Alter and Baden and Fenwick and all the other ones
definitely.
that they're facing every
GCL co-ed schools, yeah.
Terrific.
Charlie DeGennaro on the tackle.
Yeah, looks like Mick is interested tonight in achieving a little bit more balance.
Yep.
And running the football so far here against the Braves. But Coach Orlando, 9th year. It's a guy from a part of the state that is known for football. Actually, as a high school kid, Coach Orlando won both a football and a baseball state championship at Steubenville Catholic.
And a first down for the McNick Rockets.
And Jake, being a Region 4 team, or a Division 4, I should say Region 16, but a Division 4 team, we're familiar with Steubenville Big Red.
Oh, yeah.
That was not Coach Orlando's school. He was at the Catholic school in Steubenville. Things get a little crazy with the Big Red. He was not a part of that.
Fresh out of downs for McNick. Battleack hands off yet again to number 12, Cody Johnson. Lots of running so far for the Rockets.
Yeah, McNick doing a really good job. You know, Indian Hill in their first possession in a 3rd and long. McNick doing a pretty good job hitting something and putting themselves in manageable situations. And here with a 2nd and short, whole playbook available to them.
Second and 13. Battleack will scramble out of the pocket, trying to get loose, but he will keep it and is forced out of bounds by number 60 for the Braves, Nathan Berger, and number 7, Jim Fox.
Yeah, tough last year. You know, this McNick team 1-9 a year ago with a sophomore quarterback and a sophomore running back. Yeah, young team, and really, you know, some growing pains. But where you see the payoff is like a situation like that, Jake, where he makes a great decision, tucks that ball, keeps the chains moving, and just is doing a really good job of putting the team in spots.
Battleack in the shotgun formation with Boyd Bramble on his left. He will drop back. Great coverage by number 17, Dougie Zhang.
Yeah, Dougie Zhang doing a great job against a taller receiver, taking that sideline away from him and really getting physical out there. Dougie Zhang at 5'9", giving up 7 inches against Caden Conrad, 6'4".
Indian Hills quarterback Trey Lopez will return the punt. Not my favorite idea.
Reminds me of that.
Wow.
I think he might pick this one up.
Yes, he will.
You know, it reminds me of that time they asked Davy Johnson about Barry Larkin and where he was hitting in the order and the fact that it kept changing. And he said, well, you know, Barry Larkin is my best leadoff hitter. He's my best 2-hitter. He's my best 3-hitter. He's my best cleanup hitter on that line. And, you know, sometimes it's a necessity. If this team wants to win, they have a playmaker back there.
Thank you for your support.
Last time these two teams got together was all the way back in 2010.
Wow.
McNick with a 34-10 win.
Trey's handoff to Duke Weiler results in a loss of 1.
Duke Weiler takes the handoff.
Let me give you a few names from that time back then, if I can find them. This would have been back with Sam Voss throwing it around. You've seen Sam Voss at the Open Gyms. Becker, a punter, not Dan Becker, his older brother.
Lopez flips it to Duke Weiler. Will be just a few yards short of the 30.
Brenda Moore, Kremchek, you know Teddy was there. You saw him this week. Not Adam Bell, but Rob Bell. Combs, Jack Schaub, Austin Trout. It's been a while, but that was the last time McNick and Indian Hill got together, and Indian Hill on the short end of a 34-10 score. Braves hoping to change that tonight.
Oh, offsides on McNick. That'll be on number 15, Luke Doggett. Jump the gun.
Jake, right now, I think the Braves will take it any way they can get it.
That's for sure. Fresh set of downs for the Braves. Offsides. Yet again, number 5, Josh Schaefer.
Yeah, I have to think maybe Trey's doing something with the count.
Yep.
To affect that. Good job, but the Braves now 1st and 5. I don't know if there's a better scenario than 1st and 5. More fun.
Lopez looking right to Amari Whitehead. Going long to Amari Whitehead. I don't think he'll get that.
Yeah, I think even if he had come down with it, he was out of bounds. But Trey doing a nice job, and that's just going to get better and better throughout the course of the season. You know, Trey's had the summer, and he's had this since July, you know, being able to get in there and work on these things. But game action a little bit different, and this guy can do to this situation. And those are throws he's going to make. And I think, you know, Jake, the thing that I love about it is he's going to command. They were talking last night about Aaron Rodgers, and when he puts the ball down and runs toward the line of scrimmage, everybody comes up to make a play, and it makes everybody open on the back end. Nobody will do that better than Trey Lopez by the time we get into week 5, 6.
For the Braves. Charlie Summerall running, and it looks like he will not get that first down, just a yard short.
After the 40-yard line.
Will Schneider coming in for Charlie DeGennaro.
Will Schneider, the son of the great John Schneider of the Big Red of Denison.
Charlie Summerall clears the first down, first set of downs for the Braves.
After the 49-yard line for the Braves.
Great run.
Yeah, you know, and such a great compliment back there. You got Trey Lopez, you got that receiving group, and then you got this guy that weighs 210 pounds that can put the ball down and get his head low and put a hurt on people and get physical yards. And I think if they can get it to him enough, it'll start to wear the other team out.
Trey's going to keep looking to 22. Will Schneider, he will catch it. And is forced out of bounds by number 8 for the McNick Rockets, Pierce Taylor, with help from number 3, Hank Veneman.
Great job by Will Schneider.
First down.
Seeing that ball into the hands and turn left field and getting as much as he could possibly get.
Trey Lopez to Jake Fox. Won't gain any yards on that.
Yeah, credit the defense, counting for everybody. You know, obviously counted for Trey, put a hit on him. Jake did exactly the right thing, cutting that up. And give McNick credit. They were there to fill that gap as well. Talked about Coach Orlando in his 9th year. Coach Arcuri in his 6th season, and we'll talk about what he's done in a period of time. Remarkable.
Trey Lopez's pass is batted down by number 6, Ethan Upchurch.
Lopez's pass knocked down.
Yeah, Upchurch, one of these 3 defensive linemen with Bessler and Haw, that experienced guys that play very well together. But Coach Arcuri's 6th season, he's 43-13, 30 games over 500, and only his 6th season. Highest winning percentage in school history is 77%, just a little bit ahead of Coach Clark. And he's number 3 in wins behind Coach Clark and Coach Seipel.
Trey Lopez fakes, passes to Amari Whitehead. Brought down by number 8, Pierce Taylor.
Pushes ahead to about the 28-yard line.
First and 10 for the Braves.
Jake, all of a sudden, Braves really showing a lot of
marching
diversity.
downfield.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a lot of different things here offensively. Very difficult to contain. Playing stake-free football for the most part here recently.
Lopez will hand it off to Charlie Summerall, but they read that like a book. Number 5, Josh Schaefer on the tackle.
Summerall wrapped up by Josh Schaefer of McNicholas. Second down.
Jake, you know, this drive, part of the greatness of this offensive line. We'll talk about these guys, too. We talked about the 3 guys that left.
Lopez looking down to Luke Hammond. Got a hand on it, but couldn't get it secured.
Yeah, Trey doing a great job by getting it out there and getting it out and throwing to a spot. Luke Hammond doing a heck of a job to close on that ball and keep it from being intercepted. Talk about that line, and really last year, what made that team different. 2 great backs and John Mark Williams, Demetrius Baylor, to be sure. But the way that this team has developed physically into a very physical football team. A couple of guys, you know, Joey Scholl, who's had some injuries, Matthew Breedis, these are guys that anchor this year's line and doing a great job.
Definitely.
Grant Lanham up front.
Lopez looking good. He's forced out of the pocket. He will break free. He will keep it. Wow, and he will get the first down. Big play by Trey Lopez.
Jake, if you remember back to your youth football days, I mean, sometimes, you know, you got a lot of guys that spend all week when they should be working coming up with plays. And sometimes the best play is when you snap it maybe 7 or 10 yards and the quarterback picks it up off the ground and all heck breaks loose and he makes the play. And right there, Trey Lopez, you know, the broken play for Indian Hill this year might be their best option.
Lopez will keep it with the play action to Fox. Gain of about 3.
Joey Zhang doing a good job out there.
Duke Weiler on the carry.
Duke Weiler on the carry. Round about the 12 or 13.
Brought down by number 42, Brogan Dolan.
And Jake, how about Charlie Lindbergh? You know, how about the work that he's done the last couple of years?
Oh, definitely.
He's a third down.
State qualifying wrestler and the winner, and a big contributor for this Braves team.
Yep.
DeGennaro in motion. That'll force a 4th down for the Braves.
Charlie DeGennaro the end round. Brought down. Brings up 4th down.
And that'll conclude the first quarter of action here from Tomahawk Stadium. We're tied at 0.
Jake, some other things we're going to be keeping track of tonight. In the CHL, Taft is at Wyoming. It'll be interesting to see how that game goes down. Every week we get into this season, we learn a little bit more about all the teams relative to each other. Marion is out at Western Hills, and a pair of CHL teams are going to be on the road playing at Cincinnati Public School fields against smaller schools. But Deer Park is going to be playing, I believe, tonight at Withrow, and Finneytown is going to be playing tonight at Woodward.
We'll be sure to keep you posted on any scores from around the CHL and from the city of Cincinnati.
Yeah, some great ones around town tonight. St. X and Coleraine go back at it.
Game of the week.
Absolutely. And Elder is out at Indianapolis Cathedral.
Wow.
Elder with a great week 1. Might be the best team in the city, don't know. But Indianapolis Cathedral, pretty good squad. I think they beat a Trinity team that beat a Warren Central team. So, that big group schools, you know, those big schools, they kind of the next round robin between the 3 states.
Here's Luke the leg. Lundberg kick is up and good. Puts the Braves on the board. 3-0. Unfortunately, Luke Lundberg wasn't Luke's fault. Luke had a blocked punt last game, so tough start, unfortunately, from his near-perfect record from last year.
Well, tough to be perfect, but it's terrific to be as good as he is.
Definitely.
And, you know, I know you and I talk about it every week, just not just Luke, but the whole special teams group for the kicking unit, you know, to hit the number of extra points that guy has hit relative to the number of chances he's had. He's had a bunch of them. Really an amazing thing. Great snap, great hold, great kick. And really a treat over the years for Indian Hill to watch his kid kick. And, of course, same thing with this situation here with the kickoff. And we've seen a bunch of different approaches over the last few years where, you know, Luke sometimes will put it in the corner, sometimes he'll kick away and all the way to the end zone. See what we have here. Not sure the wind conditions.
Into the end zone.
Well, I tell you what, if you're a special teams coach and you think all week, the one thing I can't have happen is a return for a touchdown or a return that flips field position. It is awfully nice to have a guy that put you in position where that's not going to happen. And Luke Lundberg 2 for 2 tonight, and putting that ball on the 20-yard line. Awfully tough for teams to go 80 yards. And I don't believe that Bacon is a big kicking team. I could be wrong about that. Don't have a whole lot of information to go on. We're talking about Coach Arcuri in his 6th season, 30 games over 500 at 43-13. 4 straight playoff appearances for this Braves team. Every year except his first, this being his 6th. He's had 5 years of it.
Batlock handed off and is brought down by number 33, Charlie Summerall.
More good, tough yards by
Cody Johnson for the carry.
But Jake, you think about where that culture was, and every time there's coaching change, it's a big, regardless of how good things were or not, with the predecessor, there's a big effort to try to change culture to the way that you want to do things. And even that first season was a winning season at 5-4. Braves did a good job to string that out. But we mentioned that 5-4 first year for Coach Arcuri. Little Miami game that year canceled because of the death of one of the players for Little Miami, and out of respect for that, no game and no makeup for that. But the Braves with a 5 full season his first year, and playoffs every year thereafter.
Batlock will keep it and looks long, but can't be brought down by Duke Weiler. And number 15, Luke Doggett, will take it home for the McNicholas Rockets.
Yeah, Luke Doggett, a big kid, 6'1", 205, and a senior, a very mature player. Did a nice job there, first of all, going out and getting that ball with his hands and making sure he went with both hands to get that ball away from his body. If he'd waited for that ball any longer, I think that could have been an incompletion. But nice job there, secure the catch, and then see what happens from there. Big, strong kid.
I think Duke Weiler thought he made the tackle and he was down, got back up, and he was still running. And the blocked PAT for the Braves.
Great job there by Charlie DeGennaro to get across. But a little bit of a miscommunication, a little bit of a problem on the exchange there for McNick. Jake, I think that's now 0 for 2 for McNick. I don't think they got the extra point last week either. It's a great job by the Braves.
Coach Arcuri getting the team fired up after that blown coverage.
Well, your first home game, you want to come out and you want to play with fire. And Coach Arcuri, we talked about the 4 straight seasons going to the playoffs. 3 straight 9-win seasons. And interesting, of 13 losses Indian Hill has suffered in those 5 seasons, 6 of them to the Wyoming Cowboys. And it doesn't really matter the sport, if it's basketball, if it's football. You could pretty much say that about everything coming down to Indian Hill and Wyoming. Both of them seem to have their only losses to each other.
That's always a treat game, end of the year. Closing out the regular season in Indian Hill, Wyoming. Very respected rivalry.
Yep.
This year we're at Wyoming for a great Friday night game, which should be a great Friday night game.
Yeah, and you remember last year Indian Hill lost twice to Wyoming.
Don't remind me.
Well, 2015, Indian Hill beat Wyoming twice in a year. Regular season and playoffs. So it goes both ways. And these two teams, the 2 years that McNick made the playoffs, both years knocked out by Clinton Massey. Short kick fielded well by the Braves. Good job to get to the 30. I think that's Antoine Peak Jr.
Antoine Peak, the sophomore, not to be confused with his dad, senior.
I'm seeing them right now, both of them in the same place at the same time, and I'm telling the difference. There he goes. Going to walk by Dad, see if he can say anything. Dad being a pro, coaching the rest of the guys. No, that, thinking about that, the postseason for McNick in 2013 and 14, both years losing handily to Clinton Massey. Indian Hill, of course, said they lost to Clinton Massey in the playoffs in 2015, but that was a track meet where the last team to have the ball won it.
That's for sure. Trey Lopez shaking and baking his way past the first to the first down marker, and he will get it.
It'll be interesting to see this drive. Obviously, Trey Lopez being quarterback has got to fit, the system and what they're trying to do. But you get a sense that when Trey Lopez is behind, Trey Lopez, what he does, he's going to fight, and he's going to try to make a play. It'll be interesting to see this series, how he responds to the touchdown.
Lopez will keep it looking down to Amari Whitehead, but he will keep it. 2 3 yards short of the first down.
Jake, wasn't it kind of funny to see Trey in June? And, I think you would probably agree that not relative to his teammates, but certainly the competition, Trey just plays a little bit harder than the guys he's playing against, right? And it's interesting to see people's reaction to that. There's so many people that take offense to that instead of trying to match it.
Looking left, Trey Lopez to Jake Fox. Great catch and a great throw and a great play.
Yeah, really, when you consider, again, that Trey is new to this position, to have him roll left and throw with his right hand to set his feet, did a great job of getting himself in position to throw the football there. And again, these are things that are just going to get better and better by the time we get to week 5 or so. My suspicion is that Trey Lopez is going to be looking like he's played quarterback his entire life.
Can't argue that. Trey Lopez will keep it on the option and is sacked in the backfield by number 33 for McNick, Vincent Beiser.
Yeah, that read option, that's another thing. It takes time to get the feel of it and make those decisions. They're so quick. But nothing really hurt there.
2nd 11 for the Braves. Quick pass to Jake Fox, a little low, but he will get it. That'll force a 3rd down.
Yeah, how about the hands of Jake Fox? Yeah, that's another thing. You take it for granted. If you have played that position, putting that ball out in front of the receiver so that if it does hit the ground, it's not a fumble. Jake Fox with a great job of putting both hands on that football in traffic. Again, you just want to live to have another play. And you give Trey Lopez a 3rd and 11. You still got a great shot.
Lopez in the shotgun. He will look long. Luke Hammond trying to make something, but he will be scrambled. You can tell the frustration. Frustration is there.
Yeah, Trey trying to get one of his receivers to come back to him. Throwing the football is not going to be. He can't. There are a lot of things Trey can do over the course of the next 5 weeks with regard to reading things and setting his feet, making plays, and recognizing things. But one thing you can't do is you can't all of a sudden take John Elway's arm and put it on your body. And one of the things when he's rolling that way, guys are looking at him maybe as if that's Reed Eichholz or somebody that can lead a long way, or Cole Bean who could really throw the football. And he's asking his receivers to come back to him and read the play with him.
And an unfortunate turn of events. Sack in the backfield on 3rd down. And a very high punt by Dougie Zhang.
Yeah, Braves did a good job to get the ball down the field a little bit and into McNick territory. Still a long field for that defense to work with. But you're at a point here, still 8 minutes left in this first half. But you'd really like to get the ball back here as a defense. I want McNick to get that positive feeling and make this a harder game than it has to be.
Cadillac is brought down by, looks like number 10, David Ryu.
Yeah, again, for McNick, good positive yardage. And that's one of the differences you see right now is we getting done on 1st down that's putting you in a position to make the other downs easier. McNick doing a good job right now.
2nd and 6 for the Rockets.
Zach Oster going that one.
Battle's handoff to number 4, Jack Camp. Looks like to be brought down by number 2, Charlie DeGennaro. and to try Braves.
Yeah, great job there by the Braves. That's definitely a win for the Braves. Third down now with enough distance that it's a tough convert. Braves with a chance to get off the field.
After the 40-yard line, 3rd down and 4.
Matthew Breed is coming in for David Bragu.
Yeah, the Braves, a couple of these Braves offensive linemen playing the defensive side of the football too.
Medlock looking long, covered by Jake Fox, and he will catch it, but trips on himself. Great catch by number 13, Matthew Shoes.
Yeah, we talk about the length of that receiver. And, you know, if you're a quarterback, you're able to put the ball up and make that into a competitive situation. Awfully tough for some of these Braves defenders. Jake doing a nice job competing there and got him on the ground, which is the most important thing. After that catch, just important that he gets on the ground, and Jake did that. Jake, you really feel like McNick has to get into the end zone in order to score.
Braves not letting him cross the goal line.
Not going to be a situation here where McNick is kicking 3 or 4 field goals to separate. So from a defensive standpoint, Braves with an opportunity still to keep them off the board and keep this at a 3-point game.
Timeout will be called. Big crowd here tonight at Tomahawk Stadium.
Yeah. You know, great weather. We were wondering where the students were, and students must all had a dinner reservation at the same time because that is a packed area of the stadium right now, and it was anything but 10 minutes before kickoff.
That's how it normally rolls.
Hey, you know, just looking at this roster tonight, looking at number 16 now being worn by Robbie Gutman. Just thinking about a young man that's sitting out in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. One of the great wrestlers. I'm not talking about Ric Flair.
Cooper Leschek.
Yep. Not Hulk Hogan, but Cooper Leschek. And good to see Rob Gutman bringing some speed to the number 16. It was there, it was gone, and now it's back. Now Cooper would have, it wouldn't be all this throwing the ball around tonight if Cooper were patrolling that defensive backfield. But he's doing a great job out there in Gettysburg. I think he's looking for Civil War little artifacts right now.
Flag on the field.
Offsides on the Braves. Half the distance, go first down.
Jake, you know, you look at this situation. What a great, I know it's a tough spot for the Braves to be in, but a great test for this team right now. See if they can keep this team out of the end zone. First goal line situation here at home. And an opportunity for the Braves to get better as a football team here situationally.
Boyd Bramble in backfield. Low snap, but McNick will recover. St. X and Coleraine are tied in the second quarter at 7. Over at Coleraine.
You know, you think about Coleraine in the first year now with Coach Bolton up at Lakota West.
Yep.
Coach Leon in basketball, Coach Bolton in football. Lakota West got to be looking at, pretty good situation coaching-wise. Ought to be able to compete in that GMC, but another change. Coleraine seems to keep
Boyd
winning.
Bramble brought down by number 5. A great tackle by Will Adair, sophomore. Puts McNick at a 3rd and goal.
Will Adair, just like his older brother Chad, a pro. A guy that can read it and go make a play. All that 3-hole that he's got his youth coming back to help him.
Can the Braves get another stop to force a 4th and goal? We'll find out. Looks in the end zone. Charlie DeGennaro almost picked that off, but just overthrew it by Clay Badalak.
And with this ball at the 7, let's see if we're right. Let's see if we're right if the Braves get off the field without any points. Of course, Will Adair, the son of Charlie Adair. Charlie would be the first to tell you, Jake, that he taught Will, Chad, Nick, everything he knows, everything they know. One of those two.
almost a blocked field goal, but McNicholas will score.
Well, hats off to that McNick team. They got the 3 points. Yeah. You know, Braves, I really felt like the Braves could keep them out of the end zone. Braves might not give up any points, but McNick proving me wrong. It's a great job by McNick, and, you know, you could kind of tell with the crowd. The crowd really into it with that conversion. So Trey Lopez and Amari Whitehead back deep.
Yep.
So Jake, we're looking forward to a first full weekend of football, high school, college, and professional. Of course, the Bengals out in Seattle, 4 o'clock game on Sunday.
The Rainy City. The Emerald City.
It'll be interesting to see how it's. Did you go out there this summer? Is that you that went out there? Did you go out with your dad?
No, I did not go to Seattle. That was not me.
That was not you.
Not me. And Duke Weiler will field this for the Braves.
Great job by Weiler. Not only fielded cleanly, but to advance it. Great job there. So his running back skills paying off. So let's see if the Braves can respond and get this lead before they have. Got plenty of time, just under 5 minutes left in this second quarter. 4 minutes, 41 seconds.
Charlie Summer on the backfield. Trey Lopez will hand off. Trying to find a lane. Charlie will scramble.
I think the Braves picked it up. I think the Braves got on top of it.
In which they will.
Yeah, Charlie doing quite a bit on that carry. Not giving up. Looking for opportunity to get some yardage for his team. Looked like that was just a case of somebody getting their helmet on the football.
2nd and 4 for the Braves.
Feels good to be in a 2nd and 4, doesn't it?
Yeah. Screen pass to Luke Hammond. He will get that first down. Onward the Braves go.
Yeah, I really like what the Braves are doing. They're giving Trey Lopez an opportunity. Some passes that he can convert, get the chains moving, get a little positive momentum, and mix up here. You know, really important, Jake, not to make the assumption that just because Trey is a terrific athlete that you can ask him to do just anything. You know, like the play call, are going to be very important here in the early going.
Duke Weiler marches right through the McNick defense for another fresh set of downs for Indian Hill.
And, you know, this coaching staff, we talked about it before, but really an incredible group of guys. Bob Odom, Paul Jenny, Harry Eli, Antoine Peak, Jeff Ball, John Sally, Brad Hamilton. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, and I apologize, but with what I've just said there, more understanding of the game of football and of kids than you can possibly imagine. Many guys that have played, 2 guys that played in the NFL, and 3 other guys that have been head coaches. So just an incredible amount of experience. If you have a child that's going through the program at Indian Hill, you just can't wait to get them with these guys because of their knowledge and their ability to teach kids life lessons and the game of football.
Timeout called for Indian Hill.
Good idea there. Plenty of time on the clock, but you know, you're setting up for a very important part of the field, and you'd like to get sick here. You know, you don't want to rely on Luke Lundberg. As good as you feel about that, you really want to take this time, get 6. At the same time, you know, you'd like to get 6 and keep your defense off the field, and end the half going in with a one point lead, which is possible.
Still 3 minutes left before the half.
Coach Masali in that huddle right now, Jake, former head coach at Madeira, a son that's a terrific youth football coach. And Coach Masali, you look at him and, you know, not the biggest guy in the world, but that was an offensive lineman and a very good one at the University of Cincinnati.
Wow.
And a guy that really understands the game and really understands kids. Lucky to have Coach Masali in that huddle. See if what he told him works out here. Hopefully it does.
Trey looking down, trying to go long to Luke Hammond. And intercepted by McNick.
Well, not a bad idea right there. You know, you've got one of Indian Hill's longer receivers, a guy that can go up and compete for a jump ball and put the ball up there where he can get it in the back of the end zone. Take your hat off to McNick, and just a tremendous play in the back of the end zone for their DB to go up and get that football and come down with it. And once again, I think that's Conrad, is it not?
Yes, that is Conrad.
Conrad having a big game. Yeah, Caden Conrad, 6'4", 175-pound junior. Well, change of fortune here for the Braves really becomes important now, just to bow their back defensively and get off this field with things at 9-3.
Charlie DeGenero on the tackle.
You know, talking about the coaches, Coach Arcuri's son, Ethan Arcuri, also on this staff. Ethan, a player and a good player, Middletown Fenwick. And back in 2000, I think it was 13 and 14, maybe 14 and 15. Split game against Coach Orlando and the McNick Rockets back when
Battle
Fenwick
looking
was great.
downfield to number 3, Hank Veneman. Clock will remain running. 2 minutes left before the half.
Yeah, in 14 and 15, Ethan Arcuri went up against Coach Orlando as a player for Midtown Fenwick and split the games. A lot of familiarity tonight on the field between the coaches.
Charlie Summerall with the pressure to Hank Veneman. Or Clay Badlack.
Yeah, great pressure, almost resulted in a turnover.
Flag is issued on McNick.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be called for grounding. I don't know. I didn't see if there was anybody in the area, but Charlie Summerall going in there and putting pressure, making quarterback get rid of the football. So Badlack blinked a little bit there.
Head coach Mike Orlando for McNick isn't too happy about that call. Badlack looking downfield, just to overthrow it to number 18, Boyd Brimble.
Yeah, who's that in coverage far side? I couldn't see.
Jake Fox.
Jake Fox, nice job, step for step. Throw would have had to have been perfect. Tough play. So Braves actually, got a little time on that clock. Got a couple of timeouts. McNick throwing the ball around a little bit here and stopping the clock and see what happens.
15 for McNick.
McNick going to use one of their timeouts. And right now, Jake, I think for McNick, you just don't want to try to do too much to get yourself in a turnover situation to go in with Indian Hill getting a score. I think if Nick's able to run a play, if they get it, great. If they don't, kick it, cover, and see what happens. Jake wanted to mention, I'll mention it a couple of times, tomorrow at 1 o'clock out at the Grizzly Golf Course in Mason, the Tom Bolzer Memorial. Tom Bolzer was a great supporter of Indian Hill football and lacrosse. He passed away 3 years ago. There's going to be a shotgun scramble tomorrow, $95 for golf, $145 for golf and dinner, and $65 for dinner. All proceeds going to the Inner City Youth Organization.
That's great.
Here in Cincinnati. Tom is the dad of Ted Bolzer.
Ted Bolzer.
The guy that put it together is, one of the all-time greats here at Indian Hill.
That's
and
for sure.
Player for the Redskins and the Tampa Buccaneers.
Badlack looking downfield, and it's caught
Yeah, great job by the Braves to make it.
19, Wade Bramble with the reception, brought down by number 7, Jake Fox.
Yep. This is-
Fourth down.
I think we're back.
I think we are back.
Well, interesting call. I'm not sure, we got 5 yards, so this could be one of those hard counts or something of that nature, but I'd have a hard time thinking McNicholas just going to line up and try to get the first down.
4th and 5 situation. Braves will call a timeout.
But it's about Tom Bolzer, and, I used to see he and John Cordell. Used to, when my son Colin Shaw was playing, used to see those guys come back and support the Braves, and a couple of dads that had sons. Bo Cordell went down to Tusculum and broke every record possible. Seemed like he was throwing for 5,000 yards every year. Bo down doing a great job down in Atlanta. And, John Cordell and Tom Bowles are always supporting the Braves and the younger kids coming up. So if you have time tomorrow, you have an interest, if you play golf, you just want to go to dinner, you just want to support, that's what's going to be happening. It starts at 1 o'clock out at the Grizzly Kings Island.
Fourth and 5 situation. Charlie DeGennaro going back in the backfield. Oh, a drop punt.
Uh-oh.
Charlie Summerall trying to get the punt off, but will put it out of bounds into the stands.
Great situation for the Braves. They're going to have the ball at the 44-yard line of McNicholas.
Braves realized that they were going to punt.
And you know what? I'm going to give the referees, as we should do more often, give them a tremendous amount of credit, because that's a situation where spotting that ball can be an absolute impossibility if you're not anticipating the potential for that kind of play. Great job by the referees. Last week, another UCL co-ed team, Roger Bacon up in Dayton, an unfortunate situation there with that game in Dayton Dunbar.
Yep.
But these guys really deserve a lot of appreciation and respect for what they do to give the kids a chance to have a great experience on Friday nights.
1:04 left before half. Trey Lopez looking right to Amari Whitehead. Amari trying to dance his way to the first down, and he will get it brought down by a host of Rockets, is it?
Yeah, right now the clock continues. Once they spot it, that clock will continue to tick right there. And I think they're asking Trey to just throw it into the ground. Amari doing a great job of getting open and getting that pass, but that's one where you might have wanted to get out of bounds. But I know Amari wanted that ball coming off the field after that last series with the turnover. There was a little back and forth as they went to the sideline. And I know he wants extras to make a play for his teammates.
Yep.
And the Braves are going to get 5 yards closer. I really think Trey must be doing something with that count, Jake.
He's getting McNick to bite. Second 5. Lopez looking left down to Luke Hammond, and he will get it. Stops the clock.
Luke with a great job of getting that
pass,
1 foot
great
down.
throw.
Yeah, really good job. Again, asking Trey to run to his left as a right-handed thrower. Difficult play there. And how about Luke Hammond being able to get that foot down in position of the ball. Great job. Great awareness.
Plenty of time. Trey looking to Luke Hammond yet again. Just barely escaped that tackle.
Yeah, and Jake,
from number 8, Pierce Taylor.
Pierce Taylor doesn't make that play. There's nobody else there to make it. Great job. Tip the cap to McNick right
Lopez
there.
will spike it to ice the clock at 27.
Yeah, Braves 1 timeout remaining, and right now, in the event that they have to get out onto the field to kick a field goal, Braves want to have that timeout in their back pocket.
Lopez getting a ton of pressure, but a flag has been thrown.
Yeah, my guess is we're going to have a hold.
Might have hold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Difficult thing with that, Jake, obviously, is it just makes, if you do have to kick a field goal, now we're a little further back, but so I got, now where are they going to spot this ball?
Lopez looking to Amari Whitehead for the touchdown, and he will get. Will he? No, he will not. Wow.
Saying he was out of bounds. We had absolutely no view of it whatsoever, at least from the booth. Now, I don't know if looks like the camera might have gotten it pretty well, but you and I had no ability to see out the window here.
Great pass.
Tell you what, I really like taking a shot here and letting an athlete make play. Looked like the Braves just ran out of real estate there, but Braves have got more time than what's on the play clock if they need it. Because they've got it that one time. No, that was 4-0. Jake, I was thinking with that penalty that we were still – I didn't realize we were in a fourth down situation there.
Flag on the Braves.
I have to think McNick at this point is going to be happy to take it to the locker room up 6 at the half.
Ref's talking it over. McNick will run out the clock from Tomahawk Stadium. Braves down 3-9. We'll be back for the start of the second half.
Look forward to it, Jake. Braves are going to rally.
Track team, head down to the field. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the track. We are thrilled to recognize our 2010 OHSAA Efforts of Innovation State Champion. The place of Illinois State League Sport and we're something more that we like to highlight in the country.
Yeah, whiteboard over here already.
And Cottage ran 100 meters, finished 6th. He ran 200 meters and finished 3rd. Elizabeth completed the 1600 meters. Elizabeth broke the school record to finish 4th. And Cottage ran the 400 meters and finished 1st for the 6th. Individual age Chicago. She broke the school record. Ellie Cottage on the 200 meter hurdles. Ellie broke the school record to finish 3rd. The final event, the 4x400, we had Ellie Podgill, Megan Bryan, Olivia Bailey, and Anna Podgill finished first to become state champions, set a new school record, the new OHSAA Division II state meet record. The girls in all set 5 new school records in the state meet and scored 43 points, which were 15 points ahead of the second place team. Outstanding job, ladies. We'd like to recognize our coaches and players and positions and groups of the Golden Medal. The coach, head coach, Vincent Zevin. Assistant coaches, Denita Jackson. Captain McCarty, Jordan Silverdollar. Our seniors were unable to attend tonight as they're away at college. We'd still like to recognize each of Brittany Duncan, plays soccer for the Buckeyes at Ohio State. McKenna Hack, a member of the marching band at Ohio State. And Anna Potterfield, plays soccer track for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Our juniors, Claudia Hollander, Louisa Clarster, Amy Prue, Ashley Prue, and Ellie Potterfield. Sophomore Megan Brand, and freshman Elizabeth Willay. Please put your hands together and help us celebrate this record-setting team. Ladies and gentlemen, your OHSAA state champion track. Congratulations, ladies. Incredible performance.
And now, for your halftime entertainment, please welcome to the field your 2019 Braves Marching Band, under the direction of drum major Princess Rivera. The Braves Marching Band will be performing their program, Remix, featuring the music of Beethoven's Sixth Symphony, music written by Walter Stanley. Next weekend, the Braves Marching Band returns to competition at the Taylor Invitational. Come here. Is your band ready? Braves Marching Band, you may take the field in expedition. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Braves Marching Band, under the direction of drum major McNicholas.
While you do that, I'm gonna. You're obligated to go. You're stuck in it. There we go.
Let's go, baby! We got 24 minutes, let's go! Hey, dogs.
Try to unloosen it a little bit more. I know it's almost yeah, it is. It's fine. That I have no problem on that disco Are you going to try or not? What if I added 5 more minutes? What's happening? Alright, can you hop over there? Well, then we're going to get back to my sonnet. So where do you have her? Over there. Over that. So we're going to step this far. Yeah, well, the first one I had a yeah, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're like, we go JV, and I'm like, well, I don't race for Varsity, so it's like, yeah. Alright, let's go over there. He's got the raptor there. We'll have somebody pick it up for you. Could you grab this one right straight ahead?
I think it's still on the bottom.
Gotcha. How about I get a freshman to help you? Hey, stay here. No, I'm busy right now. Oh, I'm busy right now. What is the problem? Keep on moving. Great, do you want to hold on to it? Here, great, let's take this one.
gentlemen, we have a booster turn in here at the bottom. Carter. Champion level pass, Carter. Turn into press coming up between the pass. Hey, can we get an interview down there?
I don't know if we can get an interview, but I think it goes without saying, I think the Braves, not the best half of football, but I'm excited here. They get the ball to start the second half, and I think we're going to start rolling.
Go Braves. How's the humidity down there? I feel like
It's a little more toasty down here, but the plastic grass, not the air-conditioned, fully catered press box like it is up there.
you do have a delicious party platter up here, that's for sure. We'd like to thank Weiler Auto for setting up that party platter. I'd like to thank Indiana Boosters that continue to provide our athletes with tremendous support. Please go to ihbraves.org. ihbraves.org to join our booster team. Join the boosters, become a member, lots of privileges the entire school year. Support the brand. Also go to ihbraves.org for all the latest female athletic news. IH Ben Berger to give for McNicholas.
Can you tell what number that is? I can't tell it. I can't read their numbers. And Berger.
Jake, was that Antoine Peak that caught that?
It looked like number 20, Matt Davis.
20. Okay, Matt Davis. Another great job by the Braves on a short kick. Matt Davis with good hands, screwing that football. You know, every one of those, Jake, is almost like a potential for an onside kick type of scenario.
Braves starting out the second half with the ball on the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Trey Lopez will keep it. He'll be brought down hard by number 42 for the McNicholas Rockets, Brogan Dolan.
Trey slow to get up. I think he's okay. Jake, we were talking about at the half a couple of scores that you might have from around the Tri-State.
St. X up 21-7 against Coleraine.
And a Coleraine team that went up last week and beat Wayne at their place.
Throttled. And CHL rival for Indian Hill. Wyoming up 7-0 against Taft at the half. Charlie Summerall will gain 3 yards, making it a 3rd and 10.
Jake, if I remember correctly, I think that was kind of a tight game last year between those two early in the season, was it not?
I think it was. I think you were right.
And speaking of which, first Indian Hill right now in a battle. But next week, Indian Hill will have Aiken, as they did last year, an unexpected loss opportunity to get back. But first things first right now.
Trey Lopez tosses it to Jake Fox. Will convert on a first down. Big conversion for the Braves as they strive for more momentum.
Yeah, I know at halftime, kind of a buzz around here with regard to what's going on with the Braves. But, it's one score situation here. Braves with a great opportunity right off the bat with the ball to start this second half.
Trey Lopez will hand it off to Duke Weiler, running up the middle. He's breaking free. Another first hit for the Braves as they march up the field.
Great run by Duke Weiler, and that's just what the doctor ordered for the Braves. Braves with an opportunity here. If they can establish a running game, Jake, I just think it takes the pressure off Trey Lopez.
Yeah.
Instead of putting him in box, frees him up to make some plays. But all starts with being able to run the football.
Trey will keep it. Goes to his left. Converts another first down. Braves coming out of the gate strong.
Yeah, we talked about all that experience on the coaching staff. I suspect the Braves had a very productive halftime.
Lopez looking down to Amari Whitehead. Just overthrew it. Solid pass, just a little too much mustard.
Yeah, Jake, it's something that we haven't talked about yet tonight, but, we talked about the Braves last year and how they made such a big change going from a spread team to a power team because of the personnel. Jalen Gordon, Joe Oates, John Mark Williams, Demetrius Baylor. Looking at it this year with these wideouts and with Trey Lopez in the backfield, Braves once again changing the scheme to fit the personnel.
At snap, Trey Lopez luckily got on it, but that will force a 3rd and 10 situation.
Braves defense been really good tonight. You had big play for the touchdown, but Braves scoring on field goals, not the end of the world here. Want to make sure we protect that. Well, looks like we're going to have a penalty. Not sure which way this is going to go. It's either going to give the Braves an opportunity here, or it's going to push them back and make that field goal tough.
Looks like it's going to be on McNick. Holding.
Good news for the Braves. Opportunity to continue the drive.
Indian Hill came out firing on all cylinders.
Marching forward to the 11-yard line. Go first.
Trey Lopez's handoff to Duke Weiler has been brought down by Poster Rockets.
Yeah, another penalty here, Jake. That looked like the area holding.
But on the Braves.
Yeah, really important for the Braves right here to get points on the board from this part of the field. We have had a interesting approach to marking yardage tonight.
With the leg, Lundberg will come out. Try to get the Braves. Try to get the Braves on board on the second half.
27-yard attempt here.
Luke the leg, Lundbergs kick is successful.
Really like that, Jake. I mean, really, I think change momentum. Puts the Braves in a position where, they got something positive out of that first drive. And now defensively, see if we can get it back. One thing I know you can feel confident about is McNicholas is going to have to make some plays with Lundberg kicking off. See if Luke can put another one in the end zone and start McNicholas at the 20-yard line.
From 2017 to 19. This guy don't feel right as Eric. This is yours. Come see the press box.
Fantastic kick.
Yeah, it looks like he might have the wind going with him that direction. But looked perfect. 3 for 3 as I counted tonight. Making those drives start at the 20-yard line. Just can't say enough about what that does to a football team and how positive that is.
Proud to keep the Braves on the field.
Well, Luke, Jake, we know the halftime situation with Indian Hill. We talked about all that experience from a coaching standpoint, and we'll see if on the defensive side of the ball it paid dividends it did on the offensive side.
He might break free. Dougie Zhang with the tackle, number 18. Boyd Bramble with a heck of a run.
Yeah, it's a big run to get them started.
A big kick for Rockets first down.
Once again, we talk about the importance of field position and where they start. As big a play as that is, we're still on the McNick side of the field, thanks to Lundberg's kicking.
Number 5, Will Adair on the tackle. Forces a 2nd and 10 situation.
Will Adair, a sophomore.
Badalak looking long. Couldn't be brought down by Luke Hammond.
Looking pass complete on the right sideline.
And that'll be a fresh set of downs
nice
for the
job.
McNick Rockets.
Nice job by the McNick receiver to avoid that first tackler. Get out of bounds with the first down, keep the chains moving.
First down.
Badalak hands the ball off, but is brought down early by number 5, Will Adair. He's all over the place.
Yeah, doing a great job. And, the guys up front in front of him doing a great job, too, giving him a chance to get in there and make plays. His team's done a pretty good job at the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Big play right here for the Braves to get McNick into a 3rd and long if they can do something here.
Badalak's looking long. There's some pressure. Will he get the first down?
It looks like Conrad again.
Uh-huh.
It's really important for these quarterbacks. In a similar situation here with...
He will not get that first down, but it is a 3rd.
After the 37-yard line.
It's like 3rd and short.
Similar situation here with Badalak. Not the biggest guy in the world, but to have a receiver that you can see, it presents a target. You can throw it up in the radius, have him make a play. Conrad having a huge night.
Boyd Bramble running up the middle again. Brought down by number 2, Charlie DeGennaro. That's been the Braves' weakness so far, is that up the middle run.
Well, you get into the second half, and I tell you what, the Braves can stop it. It'll be good to get off the field. If McNick gets to do that with regularity here in the second half, it just kind of builds on itself. Don't want these Braves defenders getting tired.
Alex looking long again, but will throw it just a little wide. You know, someone who has not been in for the Brave secondary is number 9, Alex Lindbergh. Still probably dealing with that Achilles injury. Jake Fox getting a little more work tonight.
One thing I give these kids credit for too tonight, I haven't seen a whole lot of cramping. And this time of the year, it's so prevalent. You know, but that's something that obviously starts Tuesday night, Wednesday night, hydrating well in advance of game day.
There's Boyd Bramble again, but brought down early by number 10, David Royu. Oh. Number 78 for McNick. That'll be Joseph Walters.
Yeah.
Kicking him.
I think he's kicking for that football. Thought it might be loose. He didn't want to be down and pick it up. Maybe kick it to a teammate.
Big third down scenario. 3rd and 8.
And Jake, I got a feeling, depending on how this down goes, probably 2 down territory, 4 down territory here for Nick.
Great sack by number 54, Will Kleekamp.
Yeah, Will Kleekamp, his 3rd year as a varsity football player here for the Braves, just a junior, but it feels like he's been around forever. One of those guys that does 4 years. Had a few of them over the years that done that.
Will Kleekamp and Nathan Berger on the sack. 4 and 12. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, not a lot to be gained with the punt, and field goal not an option.
He's looking long. He's looking really long. Just a hair too short. Dougie Zhang was running with him the whole way there, but Braves will take over, turnover on downs at the 30.
Yeah, great job to get it into the end zone, too. It's made the place for you tonight, and obviously the mismatch, I mean, regardless of who's covering him, 6'4", it's really just hard to guard. Just like to see from a quarterback standpoint, just get a little more air into that ball, let him go up to make a play. But good call from McNick, not something you can really second guess. I think that was the right thing given the situation here. See if the Braves can continue offensively what they did last drive.
DeGennaro in motion, but Trey will keep it. Goes up to yet again, a hard hit by number 5, Josh Schaefer for the Rockets.
Lopez on the keeper out to the 35.
Still a lot of game to be played.
Trey really working that right toe, trying to get that thing extended. Maybe we do have a little bit of a cramping issue. I don't know.
Trey Lopez looking to, looks like Luke Hammond. He will get it. Looks like he came down a little crooked, but shaking that off.
Yeah, Trey really working it out right now, trying to get himself stretched. Which, Jake, you know, might not be the worst thing in the world if Trey trusts more than his legs. Now, if you take the legs away from him a little bit and force him to get the ball in the hands of some of his playmakers, maybe not a bad thing here.
Trey Lopez hands off Charlie Summerall, trying to get in a rhythm with a gain of 3.
Charlie did a great job at ball security there. McNick trying to get that
middle has just
football.
not been working.
See Davis Kleekamp, DK, back here, and I would bet that a couple of his guys from Xavier University. Davis Kleekamp, one of the all-time greats.
Antoine Peak, Jr. subbed in the backfield behind Trey Lopez. Fox in motion. Trey's going to keep it. Tries to thread the needle, but the ball's been loose, and McNick will take it. Wow.
McNicholas started over.
Well, team game, Jake.
Team game.
Time for the defense to pick them up a little bit and get us back out there on offense. One thing you do concern yourself with, again, we talked about McNick starting to get that power running game going. If it gets itself, you do that enough, but putting it in the air right away.
Battle X play action. Thrown to, looks like to Lucas Bachman, but is knocked out of bounds by number 13, Luke Hammond.
That's about 5 yards. Second down.
2nd and 4 for the Rockets. Driven back. Looks like by number 60. Looks like number 60 Nate Berger on the tackle.
Yeah, a lot of hats to the ball. Just what you'd like to see, Jake. And, I guess right now, Braves with a big situation. And this is one where if they can hold here, McNick will punt the football this part of the field.
4 yards from the first down marker. Caden Cronrad in motion. Looking deep.
Great pressure.
Oh, great pass defense by number 13, Luke Hammond. That will force a 4th down.
Yeah, Luke Hammond doing a good job there of contesting, and the officials doing a good job not trying to make a call on that. But terrific pressure by the Braves. I didn't see exactly who it was that got in there, but great pressure making Baldak throw the ball a little earlier than what he wanted to. Timing so important. And the Braves able to disrupt it. We're going to have a different punt returner back here with
Charlie DeGennaro.
Trey dealing with that.
That'll go right out of bounds. Hits the Channel 9 cameraman.
Well, Jake, defense does a great job. Team game like we talked about, and get that offense back out. No harm done. Braves will take over at the 25. One thing you noticed, I think, in the first half a little bit, and we've seen it here just recently, the Braves just, from a composure standpoint, just got to trust in each other and make sure that they're keeping their wits about them and just trying to execute the game plan.
Trey Lopez off to Antoine Peak. McNick's run defense has been all over the Braves.
Back in the backfield around the 20.
Looks like Indian Hill will let the clock run as we head into the final quarter of play.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we go to the fourth quarter in a 3-point game. That's
still anyone's games,
particularly at home. That is anyone's game, and I would say good chances favor the Braves, given that this is here in our house. But it's funny. You kind of get the vibe from this crowd and from everything that's going on. You don't really feel it that way. It seems like, hey, what's going on? Well, good team across the other way. And Braves trying to overcome a couple of mistakes, and it's going to happen. Still a brand new team. Every year is amazing. So many guys, last year, boy, they lost some kids from the year before, and everything worked out fine. But last year, a very deep team. Quite a few losses in skill positions, in the trenches. Different group. Again, this coaching staff changing the scheme to fit players, the personnel. And, it takes a little bit of time. You just got to stay with it. Many coaches have said it's not necessarily always about what we're asking you to do. It's a heck of a lot more about how we're doing it. Braves just got to clean it up a little bit, get some points, and find a way here in the fourth quarter.
Antoine Peak, looks like a flag.
It looks like right side left a little bit early.
Ball started with the back about 5 yards.
Jake, the Braves anxious to get started on that one. Don't blame them.
McNick adjusting. Trey Lopez dropping back. Looking long, but will go short. Jake Fox can't.
Pass falls incomplete around the right side.
Couldn't hold on to that one.
Yeah, I really like to see here, Jake, maybe something where we've got some yards after the catch. Give Trey a chance to get the ball out in the hands of a playmaker. Get him out of space and see if McNick can tackle. Talk a little bit here, too, about tomorrow being Saturday. Quite a few Braves alums that are going to be playing football tomorrow. I'll tell you where they're going to be here in just a moment.
Trey looking down to Luke Hammond. Can't make anything of it, but will be brought down yet again.
Okay, tap in the backfield around the 16-yard line. Brings up 4th down.
Braves got to be careful right here. Body language and, the whole approach right here. Tomorrow, Saturday, Reed Eichholz. You remember Reed Eichholz?
Oh, yeah.
He and Lafayette are going to be at Monmouth. His brother Dawson, playing for Johns Hopkins, had a catch last week. Going to be hosting Susquehanna. Zary Hunter Cure at center is going to be at Hanover. And Dan Becker, his Penguins are going to host Howard, talking about Youngstown and Youngstown State. Very nice bounce there for the Braves.
That'll roll all the way down to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, Jake, I say from where the Braves were kicking that or punting that, to get the ball on the other side of the field, net of any return is a really good thing. I had a chance to see Dan Becker play tackle against Samford. That was an ESPN2 game a couple of weeks ago, and Dan Becker looks absolutely tremendous. Jalen Thornton in West Virginia are going to be out at Missouri. Had a scare last week with James Madison. A lot closer game, I think, than they anticipated in Morgantown. Demetrius Baylor last night with West Virginia State. They rallied to beat Frostburg. Is that right? Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Boy, he lit a kid up on special teams. Wow.
His freshman year at Indian Hill, it was the same thing. Just go get that guy right there and blow him up.
McNicholas gained about 5 yards on that carry.
Yeah, it's the thing that scares you right now at this point in the game, Jake, is McNick being able to sustain a drive and grind it out on the ground and extend this thing. Nick Oaks and UC going to be at Danny Vanatsky and the Ohio State Buckeyes. How about that?
Crazy.
I think that game's going to be a little closer than people.
Yeah. Tribe of Braves. I don't know why they're not blowing the whistle yet.
Braves come away with
somehow we have it.
On the ball? No.
The good news is we're going to have a 3rd down, a chance to get off the field. Again, part of the field where, depending on the distance,
47-yard line.
This is a chance to get the ball back. Tennyson Holmes and the Wash U football team are going to be at Chicago, University of Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Joe Oaks, who's here tonight, his Bobcats are going to be at Heinz Field, but I guess Joe Oaks is not going to be with them as they take on Pittsburgh. And I think they've got just enough for the first down there, Jake. Jack Haken and Denison, they're going to host the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. And Jake, we've got brothers that are going to be on the field together tomorrow. Eric and Logan Person.
Oh, up at Lake Forest.
Lake Forest hosting Grinnell. Grinnell, you would like the Grinnell basketball program, Jake. They score about 125 points a game.
Speaking of one of our alumni, Demetrius Baylor is here. Just saw him on the sideline.
On the carry. Well inside the 40-yard line. Then they rock it first down.
Got to break down and some great sportsmanship from McNick. 2 offensive linemen from McNick going to check on the Brave and help him get up off the field. It's Joey Scholl. Joey, a 6 foot, 225-pound junior. Nick Heidel. Ohio Wesleyan, they host Otterbein tomorrow. Nick Heidel is a preseason All-American punter.
Wow.
For Ohio Wesleyan. Great job by
Alex
there.
Handoff to William Roos. Taken down by number 25 for the Braves, Zach Osterhus.
Jake, just in case Heidel has a game on over at the Silverton Cafe, Nick Heidel, a guy that put up 25 points out in Las Vegas against a top-ranked Whitman basketball team, just goes out last year and becomes an All-American punter, switching sports for Ohio Wesleyan.
Wow.
Good luck to Nick Heidel tomorrow.
Best of luck to all of our Indian Hill alumni. Play battle axe pass to number 5 for the McNick Rockets. Josh Schaefer brought down hard by David Ryu and Will Adair.
Will Adair and Hammond on the tackle for Indian Hill.
Will Adair's had a heck of a night.
Yeah.
Ball from the 34-yard line. Third down.
Third and 6 for the Braves. Badlack dropping back. Almost looked like he intercepted that, but McNick will advance yet again.
Yeah, heck of a throw. Nathan Berger bringing pressure from his right side. And boy, I tell you, that's a heck of a throw with pressure coming down on him.
Looking short. Chased out of bounds by number 33, Troy Summerall, and number 7, Jake Fox.
Jake still a ton of time on that clock, and still a lot of green behind the Braves defenders. So
Braves got to get a stop here. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, once again, Braves in a position where you got to keep them out of the end zone. Got plenty of time on the clock. Braves with a chance to go down and win this game if they can just hold.
Brought down by number 5, Will Adair for the Braves. 3rd down.
So important right now, just having guys that still have a little in the tank defensively to make plays and get off the field. I think this is far enough away, but close enough to the goal line where this is going to be 4 down territory if they don't get it. And they do get it.
That'll force a 1st and goal scenario for the Braves.
Braves doing a good job of subbing guys in, trying to keep them fresh, but McNick has had the ball and is grounded out here in this second half to the degree that having a hard time keeping guys fresh.
And McNick will run it inside for a touchdown.
Give great credit to this McNick offensive line. Really taking over the game here in the latter part.
Kiss up ain't good. McNick 16, Indian Hill 6. Five minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Jake, I wouldn't say the Braves need a miracle, but the Braves need a lot of things to go right now. And that starts with a great return and field position.
I wouldn't be surprised if they give an onside or not a full kick.
Yeah, so far tonight, that second line has really fielded the ball almost exclusively. That'll happen again here. Actually, that ball's going to make its way all the way back to Murray Whitehead.
And looks like McNick will take it again. Just an unfortunate tale of events.
Tough situation, Jake. You know, all night the Braves have done a terrific job of being able to handle that, and that's been, you know, they've been very fortunate. Actually, had a number of those, and we talked about it. Every time it happens, it's really like an onside kick.
Battleac hands it off. Brought down by Triber Braves, but the ball has been loose, but they will signal it down.
Randall on the carry. Second down from the 14.
Jake, really feel for these defensive players. Rainey and Hill, they have been on the field a ton and actually done a really good job. Being called on once again here, but time all of a sudden is a huge factor.
Brought down hard by number 60, Nathan Berger for the Braves.
No quitting these Braves to finish, Jake.
Battleac with the pitch.
Jake, if you in the class of 2020 are looking for a donation, a gift, you know, you see the park benches and you see all kinds of different things that people do.
Yep.
You guys might want to consider play clocks for this stadium.
That's for sure.
In this case, actually, I think it's beneficial for the Braves. You know, McNick would love to snap that ball with 1 second.
Yeah.
But, you know, not having the play clock leads to a little bit of uncertainty. So Braves might actually be the beneficiary here.
Just short of the goal line for McNick.
Well, Jake, a couple minutes ago we said we didn't need a miracle, we just need a lot of things to go right.
A lot of things went.
I think we're at the point now where we might need a miracle. Might need a turnover and take it back the other way. I've got a call in right now to the coach, Herman Edwards, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Taking a while. Those play clocks would be useful. How much time do they get?
Well, one group you know is keeping track is the referees. They know.
And there's a flag on the field.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold, and so we're going to bring that back out. But, you know, the reality is it's just going to be more time off the clock here. But at this point, I think it's kind of moot. Well, you know, at some point, I think when you're unable to put points on the board, you know, get in a situation where it puts a lot of stress on the defense. Not only the fact they're on the field a lot, but they're always defending something that feels like you're close to a breaking point. And this Braves defense done a great job tonight. Just, Braves will go back, I'm sure, this week and take a look at what they can do to make use of the tools they've got on offense and get more points up on the board. You just kind of got the sense tonight that McNick got a little bit of a comfort level based on the fact that Indian Hill wasn't scoring. You know, it makes everything a little bit easier for McNick. And credit McNick's defense; they did a nice job. McNick making just enough plays on the offensive side before this got stretched out with the last touchdown. Really, Conrad, to me, a big part of this game. Just that target able to go up and complete passes, first downs, the score. I mean, obviously, he's had a huge night.
Minute 49 running clock. And a pitch, number 18 for McNick. Boyd Brandel brought down hard by number 54, Will Camp.
Here around the left side, a flag down after the flag.
Well, you know, Jake, last year, I think just about the same time of the season, Indian Hill with an unexpected loss against Aiken. And, you know, the team had to make a decision and obviously went the right direction from there on. If you think about that team last year, what they were able to accomplish at the end of the year, we talked about that Wyoming game in the playoffs, but hey, for a team that turned over 5 times to lose in overtime to the eventual state champion, you got to do so much right there, and you got to be a pretty darn good team to be able to get yourself in that situation. So, you know, we've got another situation here I would say is kind of similar. Braves' big week of soul-searching and fixing some things, and expect to come back out next week again with those Aiken Falcons and have a good week.
Second and goal for the Rockets.
Last year, that group of seniors able to rally those kids,
false start,
and bring them back from that Aiken loss, and that's it's going to be incumbent upon this group of seniors to take this younger team and bring them back for next week.
Last year, that Aiken game was at Cincinnati Public Stadium. It rained like cats and dogs. The field was flooded. The drainage system didn't work. So, called the game. Came back to Indian Hill to play the game, but it was technically an away game.
Right.
Still raining like crazy, and rain has not been very nice to the Braves.
Yeah, a lot of different things going on there last year, and obviously that team able to move the football, but just another opportunity. It's a game. All sports are. You're going to see it this year in your basketball season, Jake. Adversity is part of it, and sometimes when you think, man, are we ever going to be able to get this going? And then you run through stretches where you kind of like your summer of 1,000 points, you can't miss.
Number 78, Joseph Walters, getting up after kicking earlier in the game. He'll walk off fine, though.
Yeah, that offensive line for McNick really has done an outstanding job tonight. And, that accumulation of all that pound on those Indian Hill defenders, they really have stood up right here to the very end. In this drive, with very little time on the clock, these guys kept fighting. Something positive to take away for next week.
Running out of time. They will get the snap off.
Will Cleecamp,
yep. On the tackle. Will the clock will run out from Tomahawk Stadium. Braves fall to the McNick Rockets 6-16. Thank you everyone for watching and have a safe night.
Jake, thanks. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Got great weather. Got some of those Braves football loves back in the house. Let's have a good week practice and turn this around next week.
Thank you for coming out to Tomahawk Stadium. Enjoy stadium, everyone.
Exclusive coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department.